Do Zoom. Hey, everybody. All right, we got to give everybody like a minute or two to come and join us. How's everything in Australia, Nadine?
It's really good. The weather is still warm. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's
Everything's going
summer
really,
still
really well.
there.
Sorry?
It's summer still there.
Yeah, so we're enjoying it. We've got a little bit more of it. What about you? How are things on your end?
Well, it's Florida. It's always sunny and beautiful, and it's really nice. It's kind of like I think it's like 27 degrees Celsius. Beautiful. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. We got some of our good friends are down under right now. They're in Australia visiting family.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yes, so it's pretty
Whereabouts are they? Do you know?
I just know that they're near my husband's family, but I don't know where they are. Don't ask me.
It's okay. I can be the same when people say that they're traveling somewhere. It's just that country. They're going to that country right now.
Yeah, no, I know that they're there, and I know that they're actually really enjoying. They were so excited because they haven't been there in a while. So yeah, I'm just trying to send notifications here and make sure that everybody's seeing that we're live now. Because I know lots of parents struggling with math. Well, not the parents, the kids are. So we want to make sure that we answer their questions and see how much we can help them. So Nadim, like we were just talking about that, how I've known you for like 6 years.
It's
It's
amazing.
just like incredible. Hey everybody, just jump, say hi here so we know that you guys are there. Let us know where you guys are watching from. I'm in Florida and Nadim is in Australia. So we're in Australia, Nadim.
In Sydney.
In Sydney, beautiful. Oh, I really want to go there one day. So we want to know where you guys are joining us from. We wanted to quickly just say hello and say welcome. And we're here to answer some really good math questions that homeschool parents have. I got a little bit of history to share. Nadim and we met through Periscope. Hi, Selma. She's in Washington. Hey. We met when I was literally in tears because my son could not even hear the word math. And I think we were in, yes, Selma Siana introduced us to CDC Math and we love it. Yay! I love that. And yeah, my son was literally in tears. I was in tears. I was so frustrated. I was doing a live on Periscope and I was sharing my story. Oh, you're in Idaho. Yay, Amber. I'm glad you're joining us. Make sure you guys share this and invite your homeschool friends to come and join us as well. So my son, I think, okay, Nadine, I think this is something that happens to every kid. I don't think it was just my son. I think once you hit a roadblock, and we're going to talk about roadblocks today. You hit a roadblock and you can't wrap your head around because you missed some steps or something, then immediately you have that mental block that does not allow you to learn. Like, do you want to talk a little bit about that, or you want to go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Yeah, no, this is great. This feels like a blast in the past. Like we've never stopped doing these. I know it's been a couple of years and we used to do this regularly.
We need to do more of that. We're going to do it every month, right?
This is going to be great. This is fantastic. Yeah. I'm so excited because I'm having like deja vu and nostalgia. All those things are happening right now.
You just got a little older in the process.
That's okay. This is part of life. More experience.
Much more.
Like a fine wine. But look, math is certainly a building block. We need the foundation. And with any structure, if you don't have the foundation, if there's gaps or holes or problems, it's going to come crumbling down. Mm-hmm. So what happens, and it tends to occur when math, it can occur at all age groups, but particularly when algebra is introduced. What happens is that a student doesn't have the mental capacity to realize that there are gaps in the education and they don't get what they are seeing. They don't understand why they don't get it. And quite often it is that roadblock because they've missed prior knowledge. But they're not equipped to recognize that. They don't see that and go, I don't understand that question because I actually don't understand this process that needs to occur before it. They just go, I don't get it. And then when they don't get it, they shut down. Like anything that's hard and difficult, we don't particularly feel like doing. And a barrier goes up.
That's so
And it's
true.
sort of,
Goes for us parents, same thing.
and unfortunately, you get caught in this vicious cycle because students are very clever and very smart, and they find a way to just get through the next math lesson, get through the next math lesson, get through the next math lesson. But unfortunately, they're not fully grasping it. So more holes are occurring on those grade levels as you build up. And then eventually it compounds, and you might get into a situation where you can't say the word math anymore.
Yeah,
Or
that's what happened to us.
every lesson just starts or ends in tears. And fortunately, there are solutions out there, and we can discuss them.
Yes, that's what we call PTMD, post-traumatic math disorder. And it happened in my house, you guys. And my son, I think he was like between first grade and second grade. And just the mention of math or anything to do with math, he will literally just sob. He would just refuse to even try. He just kept thinking that he was, like, I can't learn, I can't do this. And if you guys, okay, if you have a child that have gone through anything, like this, that yes, older and wiser or someone. No, but if you have gone through any phase with your children, with one of your children, where they hit a roadblock and they just keep saying like, I can't do this, like put down in the chat because we want to know your story too. We want to know, as I find that very common, and somehow, Nadim, it happens more with math than with other subjects, I think.
Yeah, and I think it is because of that building block. I firmly believe that because of that building block and that foundation that you need. It's very difficult to progress and move to the next level without the prior understanding. And unfortunately, again, it's that recognition that that gap hasn't been filled. So
Yeah.
unless you know clearly what's missing, it's hard to identify it. But there is a process. And I think the quick wins are really important in this situation because you really want to boost confidence. You want to get the children wanting to do math again. You want to make it enjoyable. You want to try to give them those aha moments.
Yeah.
So it's really important finding a solution where the kids have those aha moments and they start to get it and start to build a bit of confidence.
Yeah. That is so true because the first time that Benjamin had like one little win, he just got more excited to try and to keep trying. And I think I told you this story like 6 years ago, long ago. I remember the day, you guys. So this boy went from like not doing any math for almost a year. I simply could not even deal with the idea of doing math. So I just pushed it aside under the carpet. I said, okay, we're going to do everything else. We're going to do reading a lot. We're going to do whatever, but we're not going to do math for now until I figured out what's happening, because the word math will trigger him and will trigger me. And then it was like this big clash of meltdowns and everything else. And I was tired. I was really overwhelmed with all of that. I mean, he was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. And so Nadim actually found me on Periscope and we start chatting and said, I think you need to try this. I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give it a try. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to give it a try. So, you know what? That's the beautiful thing about online math. It kind of sounds like a video game at first, like, oh, here, mom's iPad and sit on the computer. And he did the first lesson. And when he did well, the confetti will come and he will get like the 100% or 90% or whatever, right? That will really excite him. And I remember right after we started, Nadim, you guys, like, this is true story. He came to me on a Saturday and asked to do CGC math. And I was almost in tears.
Love it.
I was almost in tears. I said, buddy, it's Saturday. You don't have to do school today. And he asked to do CDC math. Well, 6 years later, this boy is starting high school. He absolutely loves math. He loves math. He thrives. He is so good with math. Like, and it's so funny because, people ask him, so you're good at math, and he's like, yep, I am, and he's so proud of himself for that. And I have to say, my all three kids are really great in math. I have no problem with them. But it takes, first of all, make sure that they're overcoming those little roadblocks that keep them from even trying.
Mm.
That's like the first thing. And then let them do it on their own pace. And I love that about CGC math.
Yep.
It really, they progress at their own pace. And if they need to redo a lesson, they go back, they redo the lesson, and that's okay. That's okay. And then one step forward, another step forward, and you keep going. Yeah, it has been such a blessing in our lives. It's almost like for my kiddos, the longer math lessons, confusing as well. We're confusing as well. Yes, I enjoy the brief but very exact lesson. That's what I love about it. It made it easier to understand and more enjoyable for my kids. It's almost so true. The shorter the lesson, the better. And I think that's why Charlotte Mason tells us, like, keep the lesson short. There's just so much attention span that the kids have. And if you make a tedious long lesson, then their interest and their engagement is going to be gone very quickly.
And that's super important. And I love your story, Anna. It really puts a big smile on my face, because that's what we want to have a positive impact on as many homeschooling families as possible. That's our mission statement, and that's what we strive to achieve. So that's awesome.
And I hope I did that. Oh, Silma is also saying they also hate math worksheets. My son is advanced, so I need something that would meet him where he was without me needed to buy workbooks that were too easy or too hard for him. Yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Your kid can, like we were talking about, they can go on their own pace. So if they are advanced, just go for it. I always tell my kids, just keep going. Just keep going. You don't need to stop.
And what does that actually look like? That's access to all lessons from all grade levels. If a student needs to go back and fill some gaps, if they're in fourth grade and they're struggling with a third grade or second grade concept, you can go back and do that. But at the same time, if they finish fourth grade and the year level hasn't finished, you're still in May, and you're waiting for July or August to purchase the workbook, you don't have to do that. You just continue going. On the worksheets and the interactive questions, it really helps when the questions are adaptive. It's important to have questions that change in difficulty based on the student's ability, delivering the right question at the right time. And that's all about the confidence, because if you give them something too difficult, they're going to falter and fall. Yeah. If you give them something too easy, they're not going to progress and learn. They're going to stay still, maybe even go backwards.
And a lot of them are going to get bored. And I think that's where their engagement just, goes elsewhere, because they just get bored. It's too easy for them. It's not challenging their brain.
Yes. Amen to that. You need to hold their hand and lead them up an inclined plane. Yeah. You don't want them to fall down, and you don't want them to be stagnant. You just want to continually progress up an inclined plane at their pace. And I feel with adaptive questions, access to all lessons from all grade levels, that really helps that process.
That is so true. That is so true. Let me tell you, I have looked at other online math programs before, and none of them you have access to all the grades like CTC math. And that was it was a bit frustrating, just like looking at and trying and thinking like, oh, that is like, okay, what if they need to go down a little bit or up a little bit, but then you pay for the program and you're stuck there. You can't go anywhere. Well, CTC math is like from kindergarten all the way to high school, and you have access to all the grades. So if your kid wanted to do 2 grades in 1 year, go for it. You can
Yeah.
totally do it. And if you need to take more time to finish one grade, or if you need to go back a little bit and revise, maybe, my daughter just did that. She went back and she redid all the fraction stuff from fifth grade. She went back and she did the whole thing on fraction because she was getting to it's getting harder for her, right? So
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I think I missed something. I need to go back. I need to look at this again because I forgot. And then
Yeah.
she went back and she redid the whole thing, and she was so proud of herself. And she continued to go forward, and really, really well.
That's awesome.
All right, Nadine, what else when our kids are struggling? What are the things that we need to look for so we can help them, and how we can help them?
Yeah, I think on that comment as well, the long lessons is very, very important. So say we dedicate 45 minutes to our math lesson. If we're giving him a long, drawn out, complicated explanation that goes for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, that might only leave 15 minutes of practice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And often, sometimes we think the longer the explanation, the better it is, when actually it can be quite the opposite. We need to be clear, concise, and to the point. That's super important. So the way we look at it is with a 5-minute explanation
Mm-hmm.
and then 30 to 40 minutes of practice problems. And that's where they can hone in on their skills, really identify areas of weaknesses and build on it. And if they need to go back to the video tutorial, rewatch it, revisit it, by all means. But it's also effective. What takes some tutors 20, 30 minutes to explain, Pat has this incredible ability to do it within 5. And the student has this aha light bulb moment. And I always say, when you're looking at a math curriculum, pull up 2, 3 lessons, look at the programs that you're comparing, look at the
Mm-hmm.
video tutorials, pull up the same lesson across all the programs, get your child to sit down and watch them and go, which one did you understand best? Compare them, like literally compare them like for like. And the one that gives your child the aha moment, that's the winner for your child. Because
Yeah.
I'm not also going to claim that CTC math is going to work for absolutely every child, because each child is unique. Each child has different learning abilities,
Yes.
strengths, weaknesses, and there's no perfect solution. And amen to that. We all have unique, beautiful, thriving children as a
Yes.
result of it. It's brilliant. But it's what's going to work for most, and it's what's going to work for your child. That is really, really important. And just on that note, we never want anyone to purchase CTC math and feel like they've paid for a program that doesn't work for their family. That's why we've got a 12-month money back guarantee.
Yes. Oh, and that is amazing that you guys actually give them a whole year. So this is not like a 30 days money back. This is not like a 7 days, 14 days. Like, this is like a whole year. And I'm telling you, I have referred so many people to CTC math in this past 6 years. So many people. It's almost one of them here in Amber, and many, many other families. And I have never seen a family trying CTC math and then coming to me and said it did not work for us. I'm sorry. I have never experienced that. Really, I haven't. So that I think that speaks volume.
Yeah. And in case it doesn't, if for any reason or no reason whatsoever, you just send us an email saying, I want my money back, we'll give you your money back. No questions asked.
That's right. Because at the end, what you want is satisfied families. You really want to see them thrive in math. That's the mission, right? We want to see, like, it's the same thing in the homeschool sisterhood. We want to see families thriving and homeschooling and growing in their faith and teaching their kids apologetics and all those things. So I'm like, if it's not working for you for some reason, it's okay. I understand. But what we really want to see, and we do everything in our capacity, is to see it working for them, right? So we want to offer them like the best. And I know that you guys have done that. You have always offered the best. And we've seen many families coming out from that struggling place where I was with my son to the place where I am now with my children, where they're all thriving and they love math so much. It's not, I have like no questions. Oh, by the way, my son wants to be a pilot, and he wants,
Good.
yeah, he's like a little engineer. I mean, he needed to know math, in order to become what he wants to become. So I am so thankful for that, because all that, conviction in his heart to do this, to be a pilot, to work in aircrafts like his dad does, and the confidence that he has because of his math skills are just like such a blessing. So awesome.
That's
So
awesome.
Nadim, what else we need to look for? So we talk about roadblocks, right?
Yes.
We talk about short lessons.
Yep.
Okay. What else should we look?
And confidence.
And confidence.
That's
Yeah.
really important. I
Yes.
think the whole conversation around mastery and spiral approach is also really important. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is okay. Let's talk about that. All right. You go first, and then I'll pitch in my 2 cents.
Please, please. But maybe we should explain a little bit the difference between mastery and
Yes.
spiral. So mastery is focusing on one concept at a time, almost like taking out a box, focusing on that box, and then putting it back in its compartment. Spiral is where you incorporate past learning and you build on it, and you have a more of a holistic sort of, I don't know if holistic's the right word, but more of an overall approach to it with incorporation. Now, what I will say is math by nature is spiral. It's building upon, okay?
Mhm.
But when you come to teach a child, you don't want to overwhelm them. You want to focus and master what you're trying to deliver, okay? So the aim, I think, well, certainly this is the way CTC follows it. There's no, if someone says that if put themselves in a mastery box or put themselves in a spiral box, I think they're going about it entirely wrong, okay? Certainly the video tutorials for us is mastery. We focus on one concept and we conquer that concept. We master that concept, and then we move on to the next one. And the questions around that concept that was just delivered and taught is what we focus on in the interactive questions that lead past it. But spiral revision is very important, very, okay? So we do that through the weekly revision sets, which build on concepts, which have recurring themes. Your child will never be confused between the word ascending and descending. They'll never forget long division, because if they're doing the weekly revision, they will do a question on this every single week, and they'll remember it and retain that information. We also have the diagnostic tests, which are like
Yes.
pre-test or post-test, and they're great for, again, spiral revision, which we encourage, and the question bank wizard, where a parent can go in and create a custom worksheet or custom set of interactive questions based on one lesson or many lessons. You pick the difficulty level, the number of questions, the time that you want them to spend on it. You know, if you say, I only want a 30-minute worksheet, we'll make suggestions as to how many questions to include in that. And then you set and forget. So I just wanted to have a bit of a conversation around mastery and spiral, because I think that's really, really important to understand the differences and to maybe think, what does my child really need?
Yeah.
Over
So
to you, Anne.
I want to share my 2 cents. Okay.
Yes.
So when we start homeschooling, and when the whole math meltdown crisis, broke in our house, we were using a spiral curriculum, and it was a lot. It was a lot of pages. My son was about, I don't know, 7, 8. I don't know. I think, oh, more than, wait, I don't even know. He's gonna be 15 this year. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been 9, 8 or 9. So it was first of all, the lessons were too long. No videos. Mommy trying to explain what she doesn't really understand and remember anymore. And then it was a lot of things together. And I think that was really frustrating for him at first. So when we switched to CTC Math, and we saw that it was the mastery, and then here's the review of mastery, and here's the review, it's almost like, well, you got all these different compartments, and it's so much easier when you're focusing on one thing. It's Guys, it's okay, moms, listen to me. It's like when we're trying to clean the floor and cook the food and do the laundry and help the kids the math at the same time, and nothing gets done properly. You just can't focus in one thing. And it just made so much sense to focusing, master it, and then move on and review it and master it and learn a new concept and master it and then review it and move on. It was a game changer for our children. So we figured out that curriculum, that the lessons were too long and everything was like mixed. It was really hard for them, especially
Mm.
for Ben. It was really hard for him. So I think that there's a good balance that comes, that really helps the kids. Nadim, what's your 2 cents now?
Amen. No, that's completely right. That's like when you're teaching, it's really important to focus on the one area that you're trying to master and conquer. And then once a week, incorporate some spiral revision to make sure that they don't forget those concepts. They don't forget, the word ascending, the word descending, how to add fractions with different denominators, for instance.
Yeah.
Things like that, which should be revisited occasionally, well, probably weekly. Just one question, and then weekly, and it solidifies it. It makes sure that it ensures that the students and the children retain that information.
Yeah. Can I ask a
But
quick
don't go
question?
try teaching fractions, the basics of fractions every time you introduce a new fractions lesson.
Yeah.
Or
Don't teach fraction before you teach them division, you people. But a quick question. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say you're new to homeschool and this is all new and it's very overwhelming when we're starting as new homeschool parents. And I've been there, you guys. My first 3 years of homeschooling were not a walk to the park. Let me tell you, I felt like I just wanted to give up many times, but I was really convicted by the Lord that's what I was supposed to do. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. And as a brand new homeschool parent, and you're trying to deal with math, and you're not a math teacher, and it's like it's so foreigner to us. We don't remember because obviously we spent 12 years in a system that really makes us incapable of even remembering what we learned. And it was anyways, it was overwhelmed. So we understand new parents were coming, starting to homeschool, and their kids are having math questions. They're struggling, and you're struggling to actually help your child. What do you do first, Nadine? Do you recommend that they do the diagnosis test first?
Yeah. And firstly, I'd say new to homeschooling, welcome, big embrace. You've taken on a very courageous and awesome decision to be the primary educator of your child. And that is so important. And I give you a big clap for that. Now, when it gets overwhelming, we need to identify those issues. When it becomes a little bit too much, we need to try to focus in on what really needs to be what's going to get us our quick wins and what does my child need right now. So to do that, you need to identify learning gaps. Okay. So say your child's entering in 4th grade. A good idea for using CTC math is to go through the 3rd grade diagnostic tests. A report is produced
on the grade before to see if they missed anything.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I've learned something new today. Okay.
And then a report is produced and it will outline how the student went. Now, if the student's absolutely mastering it, killing it, great, go to 4th grade, start the lessons. If they're really, really struggling, you might want to go down another grade. Yeah. But if they're, in between, some lessons they scored 100, some lessons they've scored 50. Focus on those lessons that they need to improve on. So click on that video tutorial, watch the video tutorial. So what you're doing is you're doing a combination of identifying areas of weakness, but the student's also growing in knowledge and learning and building confidence.
Yeah.
And this is super important. Very, very important. The other thing I'll say to new homeschoolers is let someone do the heavy lifting for you. Math can be a very difficult area and a very frustrating subject to teach. Yeah. And we're all going to have our bad days, and I'll get to that in a second. But if you find someone to do the heavy lifting for you, it is an immense load off your shoulders.
Oh my goodness. I can't even describe, you guys. It's huge. It's huge, huge, huge.
So I would strongly encourage to outsource math, and make sure you outsource it, but also stay in touch, because sometimes the child might be left free and we think it's all okay. Just those check-ins, check in with the reports. Sometimes a program will email you a report. I think that's very important. Or you
I
can
love
set
that.
tasks.
I get reports every Mondays.
Yep. It's just that accountability, and you know what's going on, and they're doing well or they're struggling, and how it's all
Mhm.
what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Can I share my screen? I want to show you guys what we're talking about here, because I think that makes a difference. So share screen. Let's see if I can get this tab open. I want to share you guys. One of the things that I love the most about CTC Math is this, that I can click on anywhere my daughters or my son, where they are right now, and I can see how well or not well they're doing. And I get that on my report on Mondays as well. So on the top here, you got a diagnostic test. Now, this is optional. I do recommend the kids do the first 20 questions. So, what do they know? How much do they know? Or if they know nothing. When I know that they know a little bit already, I'm like, okay, that's going to be easier. So less frustration. But you see some of these lessons here, you see that this star is not all the way here on green. It's because she got 90% now, but it wasn't 90% at the beginning. And she had to redo it because she wasn't really doing, she wasn't really getting everything that she needed to get it. So she had to go and do it again. But I look at this and I can tell, look at this. Look where she's really struggling, right? She's struggling, and she's been going back and she's been revising these questions too. Division with fraction. She really got frustrated. I let her take a break, subtraction. We go back and then we redo the rest. She's doing good. So this is so much easier than opening a math book and knowing how well your kids are doing. I mean, this is so visual. It's impossible for you to miss where your kids are struggling and where your kids are not struggling, where they're doing well, where it's easier for them or not. So I love that. That gives me a peace of mind, and that gives them it's like having a GPS and knowing exactly where to go, where to follow, right? That's what I feel like. They have a roadmap in front of them. They know, okay, this is a good way. I can continue. I can move on to the next, and you see that she stopped. She just kind of skipped a few things here because she knew she was going to do well, but then she was still having to go back and I'm still stuck on, fraction, division with fractions. So it's really helpful. I think that makes a big difference too. And seeing what they're struggling with, and how, what they need, where they need to focus next. So I'm saying the reports are helpful and certificates are encouraging to my kids. My kids love the certificates. I still print them.
Nice.
But there's nothing more exciting to them than the whole confetti screen. And you guys have, oh my goodness, in this past 6 years, it has got so much better. So much better. It was encouraging at the beginning, but now it's just a whole new ball, and it's really exciting to them. They feel celebrated. They feel like I've done really well. I'm hitting my goals, and that is very rewarding. And our kids need to feel that accomplishment. They need to feel that's really encouraging to them.
I'm into that.
Yeah. All right, Nadine, what's next?
It's been good. Oh well, I guess I just encourage people to give CTC Math a try. Maybe if you visit the homepage, ctcmath.com,
That's right.
and give the free trial a go.
Yeah.
With a full membership, you get access to all lessons from all grade levels with the 12-month money back guarantee. And homeschoolers also get a half price discount. I'm sure, Anna, you've got a special link there.
Yes, I do. Let me just pull from my email here, because I sent an email yesterday, you guys. So if you open your emails and you get things from me, you got an email yesterday with a special link to get 50% off So I'm going to click on that link and share down here for you guys. Do not miss that because that makes a big difference. And the other thing that I love too, and can we just like really just thank CTC Math for that, because you can do a plan very inexpensive for all the children. And for some of us who have a handful of kids, or yeah, you got the email. Yay. Yes, you do have to forward it to your homeschool. So to your homeschool friends, thank you. Yeah, that's so helpful. But I love that. So either you have one child or you have 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, you can pick the plan that works for you. There's a 50% off discount for you guys there. So make sure that you guys are using that link that I've just shared with you guys. And I've shared also, we're live on YouTube as well, Nadim. So I put that on YouTube as well. So
Hi,
yeah.
YouTube.
Yes. Hey, YouTube. Yes. So good. I'm glad. You guys give it a try. Listen, there is hope. I want to just quickly make sure that I'm not missing anything. I had a little list of things that I wanted to touch on, but I think we did cover everything. We talked about the roadblocks. We talked about building confidence. We talked about overcomplicated explanations, right? When things are just so long and confusing, and how CTC Math just goes straight to the clear, easy explanation. It is not aligned with Common Core. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. We're not aligned with Common Core.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know, because listen, this is a question I get a lot.
Yeah.
Is this like Common Core stuff? I'm like, no, it's not. This is like common sense stuff.
Yeah, common sense. That's a good one.
Yes.
I
Oh,
like that.
so good. Susie thinks she's so encouraged. I am glad you are, Susie. Any specific question that you have for us? Go for it, guys. If you have any specific questions.
Please, yeah. No, we're happy to answer any questions.
Yes. Listen, I am not a math expert, but I know somebody who is. So I'm an overcomer.
You're just very good at outsourcing, Anna.
I am really good at outsourcing, you guys. I highly recommend it. Trust me. It really, listen, why are you going to try to do it on your own when somebody else is going to do so much better for you? It's going to take time off your schedule, things off your plate, and they're going to do such a much better job. And don't even think about it. If you need to outsource, just go for it. Nadine, thank you so much. This has been fun.
Thanks, Anna. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to our next one already.
Yes, we're planning that for next month. So if you guys have specific questions, just leave down in the comments. We're going to get back to the comments later on, and we hope we're going to answer all your questions. Go and click on the link to get 50% off CTC Math now. Love you guys. See you soon. Nadim, bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.